All right, so ready to dig into something a little different today? Forget your typical TV dinner. This is about EchoStar ditching Dish Network altogether.
Yeah, definitely not your average business move.
You see, EchoStar, the satellite TV folks, just made a move so bold, it's got everyone buzzing. They're selling off Dish SH, and we're talking billions to go all in on
Yeah,
wireless.
it's huge. This isn't just about swapping cable for a data plan. This is EchoStar saying they want to be a major player in how we all connect to the internet, period.
So no more buffering screens, even in the middle of nowhere. That's their goal.
Exactly. They're aiming for universal internet access, reaching you wherever you are. It's a big gamble, but the payoff could be massive.
That's a pretty big deal if they can actually pull it off, huh?
Yeah.
But hasn't EchoStar's wireless journey been a little bumpy so far?
Well, yeah, their attempt at a premium wireless brand, Boost Infinite, kind of flopped.
Like throwing a party and nobody showed up? Ouch.
Pretty much. It's not like they weren't trying, though. They offered unlimited data, a rainbow SIM for seamless network switching, the works.
So what went wrong? The article you shared really dives into those details.
Well, for one, users complained about clunky network handoffs, leaving them high and dry. And then there's that ransomware attack.
Ah, a tech nightmare.
Definitely not a good look. But you also got to remember they're trying to build a 5G network from scratch. They're up against giants like Verizon and AT&T, who already have massive infrastructure in place.
Like trying to build a house with a completely different set of tools than everyone else.
Exactly. They're betting on something called Open RAN, which is like, think of it as the Lego of network building.
Lego. Okay, I'm listening.
It's got the potential to be more flexible, more affordable, but it's also riskier, more complex.
So higher risk, higher reward kind of thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And on top of that, they're diving headfirst into satellite technology.
Satellite. Like beaming the internet straight to our phones from space? Is that even possible?
That's the idea. It's called satellite to cellular communication. Imagine you're hiking in the middle of nowhere, miles from a cell tower, and boom, you can check your email, even make a video call.
Wait, so my phone would connect to a satellite instead of a tower. Mind blown.
Pretty wild, right?
Hmm.
And this is where EchoStar might actually have a real advantage. They've been in the satellite game for decades with DISH.
So they're not starting from scratch like their competitors.
Nope. AT&T and Verizon are also investing in satellite to cellular, but they're partnering with other companies.
So EchoStar could be ahead of the curve here.
They could be. They wouldn't need to rely on another company, which could give them an edge in terms of speed and cost.
So they're skipping a step, making this whole satellite to phone internet thing a reality faster.
Potentially.
Wow, it's like they're betting the farm on this technology. Selling off Dia-ish, putting all their eggs in one very high-tech basket.
They are. And whether it's a stroke of genius or a recipe for disaster, well, that's a story for another time.
It's a gutsy move for sure, selling off what's been their bread and butter for so long.
It really is. But the potential payoff is enormous. We're not just talking about EchoStar becoming another wireless carrier. This satellite technology, if it works, could make them a global force in connectivity. Think about it. Internet access not limited by where you live, where even the most remote corners of the world are connected.
Hold on, I'm picturing this. No more desperately searching for a Wi-Fi signal on vacation. No more dropped calls in the middle of nowhere.
Exactly. And think bigger picture. Education, healthcare, businesses, reliable, affordable internet could change everything.
So we're talking about a future where being offline is a choice, not a consequence of where you are. Wow.
That's the idea. But big leaps come with big risks, right?
Right. What could go wrong here? EchoStar hasn't exactly had a smooth ride in the wireless world so far.
That's true. Their struggles with Boost Mobile show they've had some growing pains. Can they overcome those on a much larger scale? That's the question.
And the technology itself is satellite to cellular, ready for prime time. Can it really handle millions, maybe billions of users all at once?
Those are the million-dollar questions, literally. The technology is still new, and scaling it up to meet global demand is a huge undertaking. And then there's the cost. Launching and maintaining satellites isn't cheap, and those costs could get passed down to us, the consumers.
So a lot riding on this, not just for EchoStar, but for the feasibility of this technology, for its promise of global connectivity.
It makes you think about the human side of it, too. EchoStar has employees, thousands of them, who are depending on this gamble to work. And the investors, putting billions on the line. What happens if it doesn't pan out?
It's high risk, high reward, that's for sure. It really highlights how these decisions, they reach far beyond spreadsheets and boardrooms.
It's about people, about pushing boundaries. Sometimes that means taking risks, betting on a future you can only imagine.
And those risks could lead to amazing breakthroughs or, expensive lessons.
Exactly, and that's what makes this whole thing so fascinating.
So we've talked about EchoStar's big bet, their satellite ambitions, the potential if they succeed. But what does it all mean for the average person? For you listening right now?
That's the question, isn't it? Imagine reliable, affordable internet access wherever you are, whenever you need it. How would that change your life? How would that change the world?
It's a big question and it might not have an easy answer, but it's definitely worth thinking about. It really makes you appreciate that on button, huh? Until you're stunk waiting for a video to load, you don't realize how much we rely on a good connection.
It's true. We take it for granted. But back to EchoStar, we've covered a lot of ground.
Yeah, we started with them making a pretty bold move, ditching Dish to go all in on wireless.
Right, and not just dipping their toes in, but aiming to be major players with this satellite to cellular tech.
It's not just about being another carrier either. We're talking potentially universal internet, even in places that have never even seen a cell tower.
Exactly. It's a gamble that could make them leaders in the tech world, reshaping how we connect globally.
Or it could all come crashing down.
It's a risk they're taking.
Yeah.
But for you listening, this isn't just some tech industry drama. This is about the future of how we communicate, how we access information, how we live our lives online.
It's wild to think about. What would it mean to have internet access anywhere, anytime, without a second thought? The possibilities are huge.
It really opens up the doors to what's possible, doesn't it?
It does. Well, that's our look at EchoStar's grand experiment. Until next time, stay curious, stay connected, and we'll see you out there in the digital world.